Well, hey everybody, Will Hankey here from Red Canoe Media. I hope you're doing well today. I'm excited to have you on today. We're going to be talking all about Facebook ads, how to build those ads, how to get the right people in to see those ads, how to do some retargeting, some other really cool stuff. So let's go ahead and just get started. Here's what we're going to be talking about in a little bit more detail. So first, understanding traffic temperature. I'm going to explain exactly what that is, how to find your perfect audience. Every time you run an ad, you'll be targeting just the right people. How to hook that audience, so get their attention. It's not enough just to have the right audience, then put a crappy message in front of them, but how to actually hook that audience to get their attention, poke at those things that they're dealing with, and hopefully offer them some sort of a solution. Whether that's a product or a service or whatever that you have. Next, we'll talk about the ad matrix. So the ad matrix is a really cool little tool that I have that we'll talk about. We'll talk a little bit about the retargeting pixel. So you've probably heard of retargeting, those ads that kind of follow you around. Some people say they're creepy, but man, they work great. And then we'll also talk about the pixel, or the code that you have to put on your website, and you need to do this like as soon as possible, right? Get this code on your computer, on your website, so you can start tracking people even before you start showing ads to them. You definitely need to stick around to do that. And then I've got a little special webinar offer that I'm going to be doing for the next couple days, and that's what's going on. So first of all, you know, my computer is getting old. This is an actual picture of a computer. It's very similar to mine. It's about a 2008 Dell Inspiron or Dimension or something. I don't know. And, you know, it's tired. It's, I mean, it's almost 10 years old. It's time to replace this thing, right? It's well past its expected life expectancy, right? I want to get one of these new ones, right? I want to get this shiny looking thing. This is pretty cool. So if I want to get a new computer, well, I guess first thing I need to do is I need to figure out how to build a motherboard. I'm going to have to get one of those boards and then figure out how to solder on all these different things. And I'm going to need like IDE connectors, ATX power connector. We're going to need connectors for integrated peripherals. We're going to need all of that stuff. Then, of course, I'm going to have to get a case, right? I want one of these black ones that look really nice. So I'm going to have to get me some sheet metal. I guess I'm going to have to bend it, drill some holes in it, and then maybe get some of that Krylon rattle can stuff, spray that on there, make it look really nice and shiny. Oh, I need a hard drive. And the hard drives are going to be, they're a lot of fun to build. I mean, I want one of these 1 or 2 terabyte ones, right? Those really cool ones. So I'm going to have to figure out how to build me an actuator and an actuator axis and an actuator arm, spindle. I'm going to have to figure out how to get some power to this because these things spin at a very high rate of speed. I'm going to have to figure out how to make these little read-write heads. Maybe I can use like a record player head or something I can get off of there. Oh, I'm going to need one of those labs because when they build the hard drives, they're in one of those dirt-free zone labs, you know, where there's no dirt or anything because the dirt will crash it. So I'm going to have to build me one of those labs down in the basement, I guess, of the house, get that going. And then once I kind of have all the parts, then I think, you know, the only thing left really is just to put it all together, make sure I can get everything plugged into the right spot, get it all to work. It should be pretty awesome. So that's, you know, if I need a computer, I want a new computer, that's what we do, right? No. What do? If we want a new computer, well, we go to the computer store, right? I mean, if you want a new computer, that's what you do. No different when it comes to getting people eyeballs to your website. You know, it used to be a lot of work to get it. Now, really, all you do now is go to the traffic store. If you need traffic from Google, you go to AdWords. If you want Facebook traffic, you go to Facebook. If you want social media traffic, you start tweeting and Pinteresting, right? That's what you do. But you go to where the traffic is already at. And there's all kinds of ways to get this traffic. You know, there's press releases, social engagement, making a cool video, doing SEO, all these, you know, link building, all these things that you could do. But at the end of the day, all you have to do is figure out, you know what, I need traffic to my site. So today we're going to be talking about traffic specifically from Facebook. So I know that was a little goofy way to start it, but if you want traffic nowadays, it really is as simple as just going to wherever that source is, whatever one you think will deliver the best results, or go to several of them and test them out and see how much traffic you can get. Let's talk a little bit about Facebook. So as of June of 2017, Facebook monthly active users, and these are active users, meaning they log on regularly, 2 billion people. 2 billion active users. That's just insane. That's a lot of people, right? So it's probably a pretty good place that people are going to be hanging out doing things. Now, back in October 13, let's just call it mid to late 2013, Facebook pulled off what I would consider to be one of the biggest bait and switch scams ever, I guess, if you want to call it a scam, right? It was a big bait and switch. So prior to that, what they were doing was they were telling everybody, oh, go build your Facebook page, get your fans, all those fans, you'll be able to post something about your business and all your fans will see it. And then right around that time, mid to late 2013, all of a sudden that organic reach, or the potential of you reaching the people who liked your own Facebook page, started dwindling. And of course, everybody was in an uproar about it, but really, I mean, it's their system. They can do what they want, right? It's maybe not the coolest thing in the world to do, but they did it. So over the years, this number has dwindled to 2%, 3%. It's just nothing now, right? So you have this Facebook page about your business. You have all these fans. And then when you post something, it says 7 people saw this particular post, or 23 people liked this post. Well, when I've got 6,000 fans, that's kind of crappy. So now, of course, in order for me to reach those fans, what I could do is I could spend some money, and that's exactly what they had in mind, and that's the way it really worked now. So if we were to spend some money on different ways to get in front of people, for every 1,000 people we want to get in front of, if we were to do that in a newspaper, it'd be about $32. To reach that same 1,000 people in a magazine, which maybe is a little bit more specific by topic or something, $20. Radio, 8, cable, 7. Now, if we looked at Google AdWords here, $2 and $2.75 to reach 1,000 people, that's pretty awesome. I mean, compared to newspaper for 32, that's a no-brainer, right? LinkedIn ads, this one I probably argue with this particular result here, because I think LinkedIn ads in most cases are more expensive than Google AdWords. But nonetheless, it says 75 cents. We'll go with it, right? And then, of course, Facebook ads. In order to reach 1,000 people, it's going to cost you a shiny quarter. That's pretty good, Now, if you could get those people to engage with you, and even if you got 1% of those people to engage with you, that's a pretty nice little ROI there, 25 cents to get some things done. Now, there's some cool things you can do with Facebook, and we'll talk a little bit more about the targeting later on. But you could target, if you wanted to, everybody within 10 miles of Boston, Massachusetts, that are women between the ages of 31 and 56 that speak English or French. I don't know why you would want to, but you could. So there's a bunch of really cool targeting, some other things you can do. But first, we need to talk about what I like to call traffic temperature. There's 3 different kinds of traffic temperature. And, if some people might look at this and say, tilt your head to the left, and then you might see something that looks similar to a typical sales marketing funnel, right? Usually we have the cold, the warm, and the hot traffic. In a sales funnel, it's people that are unexposed to your brand, don't even know about your brand. And then the warm traffic is the people that have been exposed to it. They know of your brand. They've been around it in some sort of way. And then, of course, the hot traffic are the people that have purchased something or engaged with your business in some way. And, of course, what we want to do is get people through the funnel or through the steps, right? We want them, all those people out there that don't know about your business right now, we want to get your business exposed to those people. And then, of course, get them to do something whether that's give you an email address, download something, purchase something, whatever that happens to be. There are ways to do it. And today, of course, we're talking about using Facebook ads in each one of these steps. And what you'll find out is it's different for each step. So first of all, let's see, who are these people? Who are the people in these different stages of dealing with your business? We don't really know, or hopefully maybe you do know. Now, a lot of business owners say, well, I know who my target audience is, right? I know who that is in my head. Well, this is your opportunity, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of this. Your opportunity to write down who these personas are, avatars, personas, whatever you want to call them. This is a free worksheet that you can go grab, bit.ly/RCM personas. The RCM needs to be capitalized, by the way. But yeah, go grab this. It's just a 2-page Google Doc. It answers some questions about, obviously, you can see here, demographics, job, married, homeowner, what does their average day look like? So with this 2-page thing, what I would encourage you to do is think about a specific offer, product, service, something that you want to offer to people, right? Not all the things you do, just one of the things you do. And then look at this customer profile sheet and start on page 2. So start page 2, asks a little bit more detailed about things that are probably related to your service or product. Then come back to page 1 and fill this out afterwards. It makes it a lot easier to do it backwards for whatever reason. But this is great for figuring out who those people are, a little bit about them. You probably ought to give them a name, as it says here. Joe, is a single dad. He works all day, worries about his kids, and my blue widget will help feed them quicker, or something along those lines. There's some other tools you can use too if you're not exactly sure who your persona is, or maybe you want to check out and see if the person that you have in your head really matches who's engaging with your business. So in Facebook, on your Facebook page, right there on the top is a button that says Insights. Now, if you click on that button, Facebook will actually give you all kinds of data about who's dealing with your Facebook page, who's clicking on things, who's commenting, who's interacting, who's visiting, who's searching, all those kind of things. So if we look at this, 44% women, 55% fans are men. And if I look specifically 35 to 54 age range, I can see that between men and women, that's over 50% of my audience right there. So if I just wanted to target those people, those are the most engaged people with my brand, there's an immediate way for me to save money. I don't need to worry about the 18 to 34 crowd, the 55 plus, maybe 55 to 64, but only if I've exhausted the other, the 35 to 54 group first, right? It also tells me what places those people are typically coming from, which is great. I can also see in their engagement by post. So I can see which posts have I done on my page that people have interacted with. And in particular, that second to last column there that says engagement, you can really see what things I've posted that have really got good engagement, strong engagement. A lot of people liking, sharing, those sort of things, commenting. So this gives me some great ideas on what people are interacting with when it comes to my brand and what things people are not interested in as well. So some of these things might be boring to them. I can also see what other things they like, right? If I'm this company STL Beds here, I can see that a lot of people that are fans of my page also like Target in the same town. They like a couple realtors. Well, gee, that makes sense. An apartment complex in the area. These are all different things that kind of give me some insight into who my shoppers are, who my visitors are to my site. So this is some great information that's all free right inside Facebook on your Insights tab. Okay, so next let's talk about how can we get these people's attention. So we kind of know who they are, right? Well, now we need to figure out what can we do to really get their attention. And of course, in the words of the Godfather, create them an offer they can't refuse. Now, this offer is going to be different depending on where they are in the customer journey, right? Where they are in the temperature area of their business. If they've never been exposed to my business at all, then they're cold audience. They might react well to blog posts or a podcast, webinar like this, a case study, different things of that, some videos on how to, perhaps something like that. If you have some how-to videos for your product, perhaps those are great. For a warmer audience, well, now you might be able to get away with a free or a paid webinar, maybe a low dollar offer of some sort, a product demo, free trial, download this checklist of things that makes it easier to use our tool, or use our software, whatever it happens to be. And then, of course, the hot audience, the people who have already engaged with your business in some way, that's where you can start offering some coaching and paid webinars, right? A little bit higher dollar offer, done for you service. If you're too busy to do it, well, we can do that for you. Maybe even put on an event. So these kind of people are already familiar with your brand. They know that you provide good quality, and they're not afraid to spend more money with you because they know they're going to get terrific value out of it. So the big trick here is that the offer must match their situation. If you can't offer some lipstick to Mr. Mouse here because he's just not interested, he's more interested in the cheese, right? And that matches his situation. So let's talk a little bit about building hooks. Now, hooks are exactly what it says here. These are things that when we're looking at our persona or our avatar, these are things that we can do to them related to our offer to make them smile, make them feel better, right? Maybe there's something that we can give, or is there something that they'll have if they take your offer or buy your thing? Will they have something better? Will they feel better about something? Will they know something maybe that they didn't know before? Maybe it's just a knowledge transfer kind of thing. Status, is it going to boost them up? Are they going to stop using the training wheels and start using your system, which means they have a higher status? Speed is another great one. Is it something that they can get done quicker? Are you going to automate something, save them some time in some way? So when you're thinking about your offer, you're thinking about your persona, then you need to think about what kind of thing, is this going to make them feel? How is it going to change their day, or how is it going to change their life? And once again, I've got another worksheet that you can grab for free. And this one's at bit.ly/RCM hooks. And once again, RCM needs to be in caps. But this is great. This is, you put your offer on there, put your avatar or your persona, the person that you've kind of created, and then thinking about that person. What are they going to solve? What are they hoping to solve? And then how is your offer going to make that a better situation for them down the road? So this is really a terrific worksheet, and it's definitely part of building Facebook ads. If you want your ads to work quite well, this is the trick. Now, I should also say that you need to do these for all the different temperatures, right? The offer is not going to be the same across the temperatures. So you need to make sure that what you're offering to each of the different people is going to make them feel in a different way, right? You're not going to sell a $1,000 event ticket to somebody in the cold audience, not without a lot of work and not without a lot of persuading. But that's going to be really easy to do in the hot temperature area. So having those hooks and saying, here, we know that you need this, or this is going to speed it up, or whatever it happens to be. So now that we know who our personas are, we know who they are, we know where they are in the temperature gauge, right? And we have hooks for each of those to start to persuade them in whatever way it is. The next piece is the ad matrix. So I went out and grabbed the enter the matrix thing just because it's kind of cool and it's hip, right? And the ad matrix is kind of the thing. It's really it's exciting, cool little tool I want to show you, and it's really going to help you get your ads all built together, done right, and in front of the right. But first, before we go talk about that ad matrix, let's talk a little bit about Facebook and some of the things that you need to know prior to getting your ads ready that you need to have set up. First of all, you need to have a Facebook Business Manager account, and that's at business.facebook.com. You need to go there, register, click the little sign up button or create an account, and then of course they're going to ask you for your credit. They're going to ask you if you want to hook up a Facebook page, those sort of things. So it's kind of, well, what they're building is basically well, let's call it a business manager, right? It's a place where you can manage all of the things related to your business from one page. So whether it's your Facebook page, whether it's running ads, whether it's uploading a product catalog, a lot of different things that you can do in the Facebook Manager portal, I guess, if you want to call it, right? But you definitely want to go ahead and get that set up first of all. And they're going to require you to do that before you even are able to start advertising. This is also a good time to mention that if you're not an admin of your own Facebook page for your business, that you need to make sure you contact your social media person or your web person or whoever's running that for you, and make sure that they add you on as an admin or as the owner. You know, either way, you need to be in control of your own stuff. So. All right, let's talk about how ads are laid out. So before you create an ad, we kind of need to know how it's all put together. And the first thing that we'll see here is there's 3 kind of levels related to it. I'm going to go into each one of those. And first of all is the campaign. This is really the easiest one, right? What's your objective? What are you trying to do? So you pretty much just have to answer that question. Am I trying to get more brand awareness? Am I trying to just get in front of more eyeballs? Do I want more people to watch my video? Do I have a product catalog that I want people to purchase items from? There's a lot of different things that you can do inside the Facebook ads, but you need to know which one you want to do first of all. And there's nothing wrong with picking more than one, although you can only pick one at a time. But it's worth trying a couple different ways to see if somebody engages with it in one way, maybe they didn't in another, right? Second level is the ad set. The ad set is where you set your budget, your targeting. You can schedule it to only run at certain times, how much you're going to bid to get your ad shown in front of people. Also placement, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. This is kind of the heart of the ads altogether. So this is definitely the most important part. Some of the targeting, you know, like I mentioned earlier, about 10 miles around Boston, between the ages of blah blah blah. There's some really cool things that you can target. You can target by relationship status. You can target. I was just talking with a client that sells bridal items, and I said, yeah, we can target people who have recently changed their status from single to engaged. Target by if they purchase people crazy that affects online and infects what they do online probably. Geo-targeted just by location or certain events that are happening. Some really, and more specifically, remember this, our insights. Yeah, if you go back and look at this, this is a great place. This is part when you're in setting up your ad set. Here's some of the things that they're going to ask you about. Everyone's location, United States. Do I want a specific city? Voting place to target geographically. Just to I ran an ad 9 locations across the country. Those 9 locations plus 10 miles in those areas. Very cool. You can and once again, if you're looking at your insights, who to target, languages, if they speak more than one language, and that's important. That kind of stuff you would put there. Detailed targeting is where I was talking about. You could target people who like a competitor or like a celebrity or job title, right? There's all kinds of craziness that you can do inside the targeting area. This, I should say, over on the right, as you start to fill in these different things and kind of start tweaking down your audience to match what number where it says potential reach will continue to go down. And for most people, when they're just starting to run some ads, you probably want to be in like to 1.5 million range. You don't want it to be really big. You want it to be pretty specific so that your ads actually make some impact and make some sense. And then they'll give you estimated daily results, estimated. But the detailed targeting that I mentioned earlier, you want to chefs or business do that. You can target by interest. You have an anniversary coming up. Well, you could target people that have an anniversary within the next 61 to 90 days. I actually saw an ad last year prior to my anniversary, reminding me that my anniversary was coming up and that I should stop in and nicely done for them. You can do that. You can target produce. Same house for 6 years. That should say if somebody's been living in the same place for more than 6 years and you want to target them, maybe they're likely to move or they're a recent homeowner, home buyer. These are all kinds of target people. Pretty insane. And then placements. Placements. Facebook has most on the left, and when you're the desktop version, there's area. Usually they don't work terribly well. Not as many people. And then go back here and mention. One of these, to deal with ads, or I'll sell my own games for fun. Messenger. This is for internet ads. Target specific in Messenger. That as well. Schedule. Now this is also area. You're $5 a day. Ads just impressions for because I want money. Incredibly intense. Best keep upping. Not it's really to get your message. So when ads were the where we're, uh, that we're talking about needs to make their reading to be tested. Now, don't forget about the different temperatures, right? Each of these they're going to speak to the person in a slightly different. And here we are. We finally made it to the. This is the tool that helps you figure out all these different to these people, what kind of, and this is exciting. It's a spreadsheet. That's all it is. I know. I'm sorry, but this is it. This is the tool that I use to really get some really awesome ads through my system. So basically, I'll go through it. Column 1 is just a number, just so I can keep these things differentiated from each other. Column B, this might be a hook worksheet, right? These are different things that we can do to help hook these people in. And then basically the 3 across the top there is the ad title, the headline, and the description. So with those are the 3 pieces that you need in order to write something in using your avatar, your persona worksheet, and your hook worksheet to match these things up and really ads in. So you basically take, like I said, take your customer profile, take your hook worksheet, put those into the ad yourself. Some pretty cool looking ads. So if we look at this, we can see that some things that this particular offer for my audience is going to feel. They're going to have more control over their phone. They're going to feel less frustrated, right? These are all things that I'm poking at about people who maybe need to download this phone thing for knowledge. It's going to. I won't be so upset with it. I'll know how to handle it with confidence, right? Now you'll notice the status one is empty. I really couldn't think of anything that kind of matched this particular campaign with that particular hook, so I just didn't fill it out. But here's kind of how it all works, right? Here's your ad title. You can see that right there at the top. The headline is larger font, usually better for the skimmers, right? The people that are just kind of cruising through. Free phone tablet guide, so that's there. And then of course the description, which not a lot of people read unless they're really interested. Most people don't pay attention to this a lot, but still definitely a good place to reinforce whatever message you're trying to share. So that's a different hook, right? Different or not. So I would run these people working, which will get a step further. Instead of just building these, build multiple, build 4 or 6, and then just change one thing about the other one. So in this same pictures. So which one's going to work? Which one isn't? Maybe it's not the message that doesn't resonate. Maybe it's on here who's really mad, or the other one of the. But pretty quickly in this screenshot, these ads were only running for a very short time, and we can already see that 2 of the ads are starting to get clicks. Right, they're starting to get traffic, and you can also see in the reach column that Facebook sees that action and is starting to show those ads more often, right? So you can see that very quickly they figured out which ones were going to work. They're going to show those more, get more clicks. We optimize for link clicks, so they're going to show the ones that are going to get more clicks for our money. So I'd probably log in here, maybe even a couple of days if it was pretty obvious, but log in and start turning off some of these ads that are just not getting the engagement. and that will force all the money into the. And I know I mentioned this before, but don't forget to repeat this for each temperature offer. So not only do we have ad sets for each different hook, but really you need to have a separate campaign running for each of these different temperatures, because the offer is going to be different. The way you're talking to the person is going to be different. That's how it is. So let's also talk a little bit about custom audiences. So there are some the targeting that they give you to start to target people, specific groups of people. The pixel, this is the Facebook retargeting, what people call it, and really it's just a that you need to put onto your website, on every page of your website. So in the business manager in the top left, I just go to Pixel or Facebook Pixel, and then it will say, okay, you need to create this the first time. And I definitely encourage you to do this sooner than later. You're done, and then they give you some code on your site. Now, if you have a WordPress site, I'll share a little trick with you in a minute. If you don't, then you probably need to copy and paste this and send it. Have them put this code in a way that makes sure every page of your website correctly, because you want to attract people no matter where they come to, not just your homepage, right? If you are WordPress, there's a really cool plugin called Pixel Your Site, and basically you just download that, install it, stick your code in there, and it's done. It will put your code on every page. It will do all that for you, and it's free. Pixel Your Site is the name of that plugin. Very cool. Has some integration with WooCommerce if you're in an e-commerce situation on top of it. So now is because the Pixel basically tracks up to 6 months worth of visitors to your site. Okay. It's tracking 0 because you haven't installed it. So as soon as you install this and people start coming to your site, you're going to want that data, because you're going to be able to retarget in front of those people who've already visited your site and expressed interest. Right? But this is critical. Even if you're not planning on running ads for 4 or 6 months, it's still good to start building that audience, because Facebook watches that too, and they're learning about what kind of interacting. Use another. Let's talk about some custom. About basically people come to your website. Facebook matches those people up with people that have profiles on Facebook, and then that becomes an audience that you could then show pretty sweet. Now the one thing that you'll notice requires somebody to visit your page or your website, which means that, so in reality, there's no such thing as a cold audience to a pixeled audience, to a pixeled group, right? So just warm and, of course, hot, and that you can determine that by some other things, such as did they purchase something, or did they get a card, or did they sign up for my newsletter, right? That is. This is the way it works. They visit your site, Facebook matches your ad to them, tries to get them back to your website to purchase or do whatever that is. I think I've already mentioned this. You can create up to 6 months, and you do not have to do this every 6 months. So you install the Facebook forever. So basically, it tracks up to 6 months, right? So on day 6 month, the people that came to visit your site on day 1 now fall out of that audience. So it's self-filling, at all times, and it's self-draining at all times as well, I guess you could say. All right, so you can target all the people that have visited my site if you wanted to. More specific, say, you know what, I only want to target people that have come to my page, but that particularly visited my football page. So you can be particular about which page they visited, how long they stayed, what kind of actions they did on your site, and then you can start to show different ads to those people. So the football page in the last 7 days tells me that this is a very fresh audience in my football product that I have, and I can show people. And once again, that audience is always filling itself up, right? On day 8, after somebody visited my football page, they're no longer going to see these ads. So I built a 7-day window for it. But we can see that in the ad set, I put my football page 7 days. So I'm going to show ads only. The Pixel also teaches some really cool. Not only are they tracking people that are viewing your content, but they're also watching people who add to cart. Maybe they put something in the cart and then bail for whatever reason. The doorbell rang, or they thought maybe they could get a better deal later, right? You can come back and target people who added a product to the cart that didn't purchase something. That's pretty cool. That's a great way to help with that cart abandonment type stuff. So there's a lot of with the Pixel, and Facebook's constantly learning once you have that installed about your business. Is to take your database, your list of emails that you've collected from your email service provider or however you're collecting, load that list to Facebook. Facebook will then take those emails, match them up to profiles that they have on their system, and then you can show ads to those people. And by the way, it's not just emails. It's first name, last name. They're smart when it comes to figuring out who these people are interacting with you. So this is awesome that I can take a list of past purchasers, maybe, upload that and show them a flash sale, right? Or a customer appreciation purchase from us before. Another thing you can do is lookalikes. So Facebook can take your data, whether that's your email list or that's people that are in your pixel, and then you can basically say, Facebook, I want you to look at these people's profiles and see what they, and then create a lookalike audience of people that I haven't reached, or so that I can those people. So this is called a lookalike audience, and Facebook will do just what I said. They will look at the people who have interacted with your business in whatever way you asked them to before, and they will look like those people, and then you can show your ads to those. All right, let's talk about, I mentioned all $5. Budgeting is set level, so get its own budget. If you're one, and like I said, you probably want to do ad sets for each of the different hooks, at least for a week or so, to see which one. You just turn those off, move your budget over to the ones that you know are working, right? But $5 a day, and you set that at the ad set level. And of course, a better scenario, you have more, and each of those are targeting different things, or maybe it's just placement, right? One ad set's running on the Facebook feed, another one's running on Instagram, something like that. You want to keep all those separate the best you can to see which one is really working the best, quite honestly. That's the way to go about this. So That's kind of the way. There's a lot of moving parts. I mean, I've kind of blasted through a lot of this tonight, but there are to building these is it's immediate traffic, right? And it's immediate targeted traffic. If you use a persona worksheet and the hook worksheet and get those together, you're going to have some very targeted traffic to your site. And this raw.io, which I think is which is a Google tool, but it lets you draw these little things. I call them funnels, right? Kind of things. And so this is an actual one that I built for one of my clients. Two different things: cold traffic feed ads, videos to that same cold traffic audience, and then we're also doing a local awareness campaign to get people to his website. Of course, when they get there, they're going to be pixeled. What we're doing there is if they went to a locations page, then we're going to show them ads basically saying, hey, come back and take a virtual by and see Susie, or that kind of stuff. If they come to the website and go straight down and they set up an appointment, well, end goal. That's really what we were after, right? We just want them to set up an appointment. Now, if they come to the website and they don't set up an we're going to the left there, and we're going to start a retargeting ad campaign to them. We're going to show them a design. We're going to show them the gallery. We're going to show them all these cool pictures that they can get more excited about the product. Then from days 9 to 12, we're going to show them an About Us video telling us business and why we started. Anytime come back and set up an appointment, that immediately stops this ad set from running, right? There's no sense in showing the ad to them once they've set up the appointment. We reached our goal. When I set this up for my client, I charged him $23.50 to build this. And this is kind of interesting. I mean, there's a lot of pieces to this to get all of this going. And maybe it's a little bit too much for somebody who's just kind of, well, here's an easy one, right? Have them land on whatever your landing page is, and then make them an offer. If they take the offer, boom, don't take the offer, then you some retargeting ads. I showed you earlier, 1 to 4 days, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 3 to 6, 13 to 16. That kind of lets you come at them from a couple different angles. And maybe it's not that they're not interested in your product. Maybe it's just the way that your ad is showing. It's just not grabbing their attention for whatever reason. But this kind of a funnel, usually I'm charging around $1,200. So there's a couple different things that that you'll end up having if you build this. You'll have your cold traffic campaign up and running. You'll have 4 retargeting sequence landing page done. You'll have to be created, right, because they're being pixeled now, and offer delivery, which is if you're offering something, then you need to be able to email the delivery mechanisms in place to make what you will need in order to build this is your offer. In our industry, we like to call those lead magnets, right? They're things that draw attention to your audience. You'll need to have an email service provider, somebody that can deliver that. If it's an email-related digital type item, if it's a physical item, then you're going to have inventory. You're going to have shipping, all that stuff ready to roll, right? You're going to have a couple pieces of these retargeting ads require content. We can't just send them back to the offer every time and say, buy this, buy this, buy this. They're going to get real tired of that real quickly. And then you need to have a daily budget. You can start out as low as $5 a day, to 20 a day, and start tweaking after a week. At the end of it, what you'll have is you'll have this Facebook funnel, hopefully spitting out leads for you, or traffic, or whatever it is that you want. You'll have immediate and targeted traffic to your website, which is awesome. Right? We talked about right at the beginning, go to the traffic store and get your traffic. You'll have returning warm traffic. So that's even better, that these people that are seeing the retargeting ads are already exposed to your brand. They're already familiar with it. Makes it easier for them to know, like, and trust us, and a second time. You'll also get their emails, contact info, whatever it is that you're trying to collect. All of that. And I said earlier, if I were to build this, it'd probably be, we charge around $1,200 to do a webinar. I'm actually wanting to put this out there, and I will help you build your first funnel to cold traffic for $470. Good deal. This is all of the pieces that we talked about. Having everything. There are some things that you will need. Obviously, you'll need to have your maybe sign up for an email service like MailChimp, or ActiveCampaign is my favorite. But whatever that is, $479. That's at redcanoemedia.com/FB1. I don't know how long I'll leave this up. Quite honestly, if a lot of people take me up on it, I'll probably take it down very quickly, because I just don't want to leave it running forever. But if you're interested and want to get this piece of it going, just go to redcanoemedia.com/up. If you do have questions about anything that I went over today, please send me an email, will@redcanoemedia.com. Question. Other people. But yeah, any questions you have, make sure to shoot those over, and make sure you can take advantage of this cold traffic funnel. redcanoemedia.com/B1. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you have